Hey YouTube, um, just want to let you know that that wasn't a suicide note, that last video. It is Valentine's Day now, at least for the next hour here in Dallas, and I spent the majority of it getting my internet set up. So that was a blast, but the bright side is that I now have cable internet, which means you'll get more regular videos from me moving forward. This past Saturday, February 9th, was also my birthday, so I'm now officially 29 years old. Almost at, I guess, 2 more weeks and I'll be at 25 months of hormones. I definitely feel like months 20 through 24 have been much better to me than the other ones were. Maybe it's just that I've now been presenting as female, believe it or not, for really only a year. I didn't actually go full time until probably March, mid-March, April of last year. So I'm even at less than a year of going out every day, expecting to be gendered as female. And so I think, obviously, the more you practice, the better you get, the longer your hair grows. Some basic things like that, that really do help quite a bit with passing everything like that. But what I do want to talk about with this video, in a sort of more positive, different note than the last one, is that I still need to fix these chairs. But this whole idea of disclosure. So I know I made a video a couple weeks ago talking about how rad I thought it was that I'm moving to Dallas. I basically have a brand new clean slate where nobody here knows me. They don't know my history except for a handful of people. And while that's like cool and great, and I don't plan on like telling the the random bartenders at the local bars that I'm starting to become a regular at, that coworker relationship does honestly feel a little bit different. So, for example, like one coworker shared that her husband passed 6 months ago, and she was talking really a lot about how she's kind of tried to get her life sort of somewhere back to as close to normal as she can get it. And then another coworker, like I was actually sitting in a meeting with him when his wife called until he finally answered to tell him that their adoption that they've been waiting for 7 years finally went through. And like, I guess some coworkers are probably a little bit more reserved than others. I did have a little chat my first day at work with somebody about how she just had a baby and her hormones changed and now she has eczema. And I was like, oh, cool. I have eczema too, or some sort of skin issue. Like, what do you do to treat it? Here's what I do. Like, this shit sucks. But like, that's not the same level of detail. And I know that, for some people it's probably easier to share personal stuff than others. But it is just sort of a sort of interesting kind of, I don't know if it's a social pressure or like a mental pressure to kind of want to share, like reciprocate and share something back. And what is a bigger secret than, oh hey, yeah, I used to be a boy. Beat that. I would be surprised if someone said, oh, me too. But like, there's that, and like, it's still kind of weird. Like, how can people not tell? Like, I don't know, maybe like I need to work through some issues with the shrink about my confidence, whatever, because looking at my reflection here in the video, like, obviously, I can see that I pass, but, like, I don't know, like, I just feel at some point, like, people are going to be like, oh, I figured it out, and it would make sense then to maybe tell them ahead of time, even though I know that's sort of ridiculous to believe, but, like, that's sort of what's been going on my first 2 weeks at work. Maybe as I sort of start to actually focus more on work than on meeting people, maybe like some of these dynamics will change. But that is something that I know, like, some other people have mentioned that where they feel like in business being a little bit more open, being more honest, helps you make better connections. And there is like a study that was recently done, being out in the workforce, and about how like 50% of LGBT people are in white-collar jobs are actually still in the closet, and that does affect productivity, the ability to like network with colleagues, get raises, things like that. And while being in the trans closet is very different than being in the sexuality closet, maybe I should just come out as bi. But people will be like, what does that mean? Like, I don't get that either. But yeah, like, it does have effects. It is probably something to think about in the future if I keep on thinking about it. One of my old roommates actually worked at the same company I do now, and so he actually introduced me to one of his friends, colleagues while he was here, and took the liberty of telling her my background, so she knows. We'll see who else does, who can figure it out, or maybe who else besides my manager, who I will have to tell to take time off for work for surgery. We'll find out. But yeah, I'm back, I'm alive, I'm well, and hope you guys are gonna have a good weekend. Alright, bye.